Typically, the Peacemakers do this song near the end of the set. It's emblematic. We want to stamp the set with this feeling that, as cliche as it may sound, yes, I would like to raise another round. If your bottles are just so this thing we celebrate so much better when we do it together. To life, salute. So the song has an origin story to it. Oh my gosh. I love Bob Schneider. He's got an FAYM shirt. Bob Schneider, anybody? Huge fan. The FAYM is it's just Bob's sickness. He's like, fuck all you motherfuckers. And he sells that shirt to his fans. And I love it. So back in about I think the summer of about 1993, maybe 1994, 3 I think. I got a one-way ticket on a jet there was a newly emergent company called FedEx, and you could be a courier and accompany a piece of merchandise across international borders if you would sign for it. And it was super cheap to travel internationally this way, and I had some friends who had good luck with it, and so I had some friends in Taipei, Taiwan who were teaching English, and that's in quotes, teaching English. I'll tell you more about it. It's a long origin story. If anybody needs to go to the restroom, it's going to be 5 minutes at least, I think. Yeah, oh God. So I got on a plane, I had $300 in my pocket, and it cost me $150 to get from Phoenix to Los Angeles and Los Angeles to Tokyo, where I dropped off this funny square package that I'd been traveling with and I had to sign for, and it got through customs. I don't know what was in it, but I got through, right? It was like the human head or organs, I don't know. Bunch of heroin. I could have got rich. Should have just kept that thing. But I dropped it off, and then I caught the next flight to Taipei, Taiwan. And Taipei was under martial law at the time. Or they just lifted martial law, and under martial law, you couldn't play, or nobody could listen to sad songs on the radio for whatever reason. That's just a piece of information you hold on to as I try to make this somewhat cohesive. Not good at that part. We're shifting in and out of the timeline. So I get to Taipei, Taiwan, I check into the Taipei hostel. That's a smart lady, she's gonna hit the restroom. I check into the Taipei hostel, that's $6 a night. And that was my budget as I start looking for work in the English teaching community, here's how legit it is. You don't have to speak Mandarin to teach English in the ROC at the time in Taiwan. But I did get a job. I ended up getting a job with a place called Mecha, and I was teaching English, actually teaching more cultural assimilation to inbound college students, which was a ton of fun. And since I had not yet graduated college, I was a perfect candidate. Though I did say I graduated college and they couldn't have my transcripts because the college was closed for the summer. I'm sorry. But I got a job anyway. Yeah, right? That's how you do it. Sorry. College is closed in the summer in America. My big dream was to go there and form a punk rock band in Taipei, Taiwan. I love punk rock. I have for a long time, still do. I'm like, I'm gonna take my knowledge of the Sex Pistols and DOA and JFA and all those acronym bands, and the Lords of the New Church and the Pixies, and even like shift a little bit into Camper Van Beethoven and stuff, and I'm gonna form an international punk rock band in Taipei, Taiwan, and kick ass. And that did not work. Nobody gave a shit at all. I could not find like-minded people there. I was totally alone. And it sucks playing punk rock by yourself in a pub and nobody who gives a shit. And they don't speak the language. So, disheartened, I returned to the Taipei hostel where a Danish friend of mine, a guy named Mickey, great dude, says, all right, mate, you just gotta bite the bullet. I didn't have a job yet, but you gotta bite the bullet, and you've got to go into the sub. You've got to learn sad songs because the people here have not had sad songs for 10 years because of a state of agitation between them and China. So he did it. Fantastic. I'm in the same spot. You didn't miss anything. And none of this really adds up to anything. It's just trivium before the song. I forgot where I was. Okay. Mickey said learn sad songs, and I was a punk rock kid, and I didn't want to learn. He's like, you gotta learn Simon and Garfunkel songs, you gotta learn Everly Brothers songs, you gotta learn John Denver songs. But I did. And I sat down, or I went to the marketplace, and there was no internet, so I'm not even yet on the internet. I went and bought those pirated tapes for $1. And I learned Leaving on a Jet Plane and The Boxer and all these tunes that at the time I thought I would hate, and then I got into them and I'm like, these are masterful pieces of musical art. They're beautiful pieces of melody and evocative lyrics all put together incredibly artfully and thoughtfully. And so I'm super glad that I got shot down being a Taiwanese punk rock star to go to the subways and stand there between the fake Rolex guy and the dude selling Cobra Venom to get you erections. And I stole it, man. I would play Leaving on a Jet Plane or the Boxer, and people would come up to me and cry and give me roses and more money than I felt comfortable with. And so I was successful in that regard. And I did that before work, going to like I did it from 8 to 9, and then I would work a little bit, and then I did it at lunch, and then I'd go back and work a little, and I did it after work, and made a fucking bunch of money for a 22-year-old, I don't know, and bought a ticket. My original goal after being a punk rock star in Taipei, Taiwan, was to move to Bali and surf and take mushrooms every day, like everybody wants to do. You all want to do it, you just won't admit it to yourselves. So I bought that ticket. But before I went, I imparted the Taiwanese who were bound for America, and especially to the business schools, with a little bit of wisdom. I said, you will succeed if you can look somebody in the eye, and you have a firm handshake, and you say the following words: who made you so good looking? So that's my baby, that's out there. Somewhere, there's an American businessman being greeted with those words, and it came from me, Taipei, Taiwan. Anyway, so I went between Taipei and Bali. Taipei and Bali. I stopped in Bangkok, Thailand, and just spent about a week there. And all the travelers congregated at the time on a place called Koh San Road, which is a bunch of open-air cafes. It was monsoon season, so it was raining. Bangkok's piss and rain, you know. It was raining every day, and there wasn't much to do because we weren't going to the islands. We were just waiting for our next cheap flight. But we met as strangers, and we exchanged stories and languages, and we left as friends. And the drink of choice during those sessions every afternoon was Mekong. Mekong is a dark liquor, and nobody knows really what it is. We don't know if it's rice wine, we don't know if it's rum, and we don't know if it's whiskey, because the government's trying to market it as all three things without changing the recipe. So who gives a shit? It's terrible stuff. I thank you when you bring it to me, it's awesome, but honestly, I keep it on the bus, and when I go home and I got a slow drain, I pour it down that drain and it takes care of it. It does. It's way cheaper and I'm sure more environmentally friendly than that gooey crap we get at Lowe's or Home Depot, which you don't want to drink. Thank you. Small, it was just a chance. It was like I just threw the ball and it went in the hoop over there. So, I think that's it. That's Mekong. For context, in the bars, a bottle of Mekong, in the bars, a bucket of ice, $4. A Coke, 50 cents. A bottle of Mekong, $1. If your bottle's empty, barkeep, another Mekong, please. Yes, of course, you can keep the change. New glass sealed by this new friend of mine. Forgive me, I forgot your name. So flip a coin, what shall we shakes and they sound I'd like to raise another round. If your bottle's empty, help yourself to mine. Thank you for your time. Here's the line. Raise a pack of lies. Now smile to the girl at the door. Another $4 for the town. Look her in the eyes, she'll break your heart. We came all the way from Taipei, Bangkok to Pistol Ray. We're going blind again. I haven't seen my girl for 15,000 miles. It's always happy out here. If it is, I'd like to stay a while. As we shakes and they sound, I'd like to raise another round. And if your bottle's empty, help yourself to mine. Thank you for your time. Yes, here's to life. Last cliches, it may sound I'd like to raise another round. And if your bottle's empty, help yourself to mine. Thank you for your time. Last cliches, it may sound I'd like to raise another round. And if your bottle's empty, help yourself to mine. Thank you for your time. And here's to life. I know that was a long story. Thank you for sitting through that. I have some friends who know how to play guitar a lot better than I know how to play guitar, and I'd like to invite one of them, also from Arizona. Josh Kennedy, are you in the house? Josh Kennedy from the Black Moods. Josh Kennedy likes tequila. Everybody, Josh Kennedy.
Where's Jim?
Josh. There you go.
That's a warm welcome. We've gotten to play, we cross-pollinated a few stages here and there, Black Moods, and we got to tour together a couple of times across the U.S., but I met Josh in my home state of Arizona, and he's been playing with a lot of different bands there until, and including the Black Moods, and the Black Moods was originally a 4-piece, was it not? Yeah, and Josh was playing lead guitar.